Welcome back, boys and girls. Another Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis video. It's been a blast with this new anniversary. I've been having so much fun. The new Ifrit and Bahamut fight is next level. EX1 is a killer. So I'll make a guide on that when I get it done. Also, a lot of people were asking about the event. Just to really clear things up for you guys, that's not really what the video is about, but I'll talk about this real quick. The video is actually about the release of a brand new region and countries that are available now. So let me just show you guys real quick how this works, just so you guys are aware in terms of descriptions. I'm not going to do the actual fight right now. I don't have time, but I will quickly show you guys how this works out. So a lot of people were asking about this part here. Okay, so uses powerful lightning elemental abilities, incapacitates 2 targets with force gauge. So what happens at the beginning of the battle is 2 targets will be chosen. They will be locked down essentially, and then a force gauge called Fatal Call. The gauge can be depleted with damage. So what that essentially means, and some people are confused here, is when you do damage to the opponent using either ice or water, it'll eventually release that, inflicting block REC. I don't know what REC stands for. Recommended? Block recommended? Block. Yeah, maybe. I have no idea. And it gives haste on all targets with quick and time. Okay, so a couple different things. And also, ice and water element physical attacks are effective against this enemy. So it's a pretty straightforward fight, guys. If you guys do need a guide, let me know in the comment section. I'll create one. I think only one person requested, and I don't think that was just a... That was more like a mishap on what the description was. So just want to cover that. Now, the big thing here, of course, is the region. This is huge news, guys. Okay, so this game has done things in stages, and so there have been 2 really big stages. This is one of them now, right? The first big stage, of course, was the release on Steam, which brought in a slew of new players. Now, this one I think is equivalent in terms of how big this is. So currently, just so you guys are aware, they're experiencing issues with the Steam store in which the game cannot be accessed from the newly added playable region. So that's an issue, but at least from the mobile perspective, you can log in right now. So this is huge because when this game first came out, one of the biggest complaints from a lot of people was the fact that it wasn't available to C players. So C is Southeast Asia, by the way, if you guys don't know what that stands for, SEA. So now Southeast Asia has a massive amount of release as of, what was that, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And so Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Philippines, shout out to the Philippines. My wife is half Filipino. My kids are a quarter Filipino. So big shout out to you guys. Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Macau, Myanmar, I think that's how you say it, and Laos. And then so those areas now have access to the game with the mobile version. The Steam version is going to come out very soon once they fix whatever problem they're having, and then you can of course have access to it right there as well too. And they're also investigating the cause issues with Valve. So these are a couple things that they're probably going to fix. I wouldn't worry too much about it. This was just actually added as of today at 4 a.m., which would have been like 2 hours ago my time. So big news. This is huge. That means more players. That means obviously more income for the game. Hopefully, that's usually how that works out, right? To all those players who watch me from C, and I know there are quite a few of you, because Philippines actually, surprisingly enough, is a big part of my audience. And believe it or not, I don't look like Joe Coy. I'm not Filipino. My wife is half Filipino though, so I have a close bond with the Filipino community, especially because of my family, well, my extended family now. With that being said, though, a couple things I want to talk about on top of this, obviously. The Double Summon Ifrit and Bahamut EX1 version is a tough fight. Just so you guys are aware, you're going to most likely need to boost yourself quite a bit. You're going to need a couple of things for sure in that fight. So the way the fight works right from the get-go is Bahamut will instantly do Mega Flare, the same way he would do EX1 or EX2, which means you're going to do a couple things. Number one, you're going to have to lower his magic attack. So Tifa works really, really well in this case. Or if you have Kuja Blade with Sephiroth, that works well as well too. And number two, you're going to need to be able to increase your magic defense, okay? Because he's going to bring you down to, I believe, high tier. Or minus high tier, I should say. So whatever the negative version of that is. And you're going to need to be able to bring yourself back up to at least the very minimum medium. Okay, because right after Mega Flare happens, which you do take a lot of damage, you're going to need to fully heal up and then get ready for the Crimson Ignite move. I think that's what it's called, right? The double move they have there, which also is an AoE damage dealing move. So again, Sanctuary has to come into play there. Magic attack down on Bahamut. And remember, you cannot reduce Ifrit's physical attack or magic attack buff. He has a an affinity to it. There's no way to stop it. Okay, so or immunity. Sorry, affinity. He has an immunity to it. So your main focus for debuffing is always going to be from that perspective on Bahamut. What you can do though with Ifrit to make him die quicker, of course, is to do the physical defense and magic defense down to do more damage. Now, keeping in mind one thing with this fight on EX, it's different, of course, in two ways. Number one, the beginning phase, of course. Number two, Ifrit actually starts with only one layer of buffs versus 2 layer of buffs, and then he goes to 3 afterwards. And then the other thing to note as well too with this fight is the fact that you can't just kill one of them and then focus on the one after. You almost have to bring them down and at the same time, because if you kill one too quick, the other one has more HP, they enrage. And then it's just pretty much game over. So you almost have to focus left and right, focus back and forth between them. So bringing some AoE damage is not the worst thing, especially your summons. So for example, I used Cross Slash with Cloud in my last fight. In this case, you want to bring something like Judgment Bolt or Bahamut if you have that, obviously. So anything that can evenly distribute the damage across the board for you is a smarter tactic. And of course, bringing the elemental summons is a great way, especially if you have the outfits to go with it to do some more damage. Don't bring Ifrit to the Ifrit fight, obviously. That's counterproductive. But you do, of course, have Shiva and you have access to Ramu. So those two would be the most ideal two to bring to that fight. I'm only bringing this up because I know some people are going to ask the questions. I will do the fight, obviously, when I feel like I can handle and beat it. Right now, that's not the case. I definitely can't beat it. I'm not there yet. I think, though, once I get the gems out of the way and I can focus on summoning on whatever banner I feel like is the best one for this limit break, then I will try my best to go back in there and maybe try it again, depending on how I do on the summon sessions, which for the most part when I'm streaming is actually not too bad. All right, so I want to cover that real quick, guys. I know there's a lot of you folks who are brand new to this game, especially because of the anniversary. Remember, I have guides for beginners that are still absolutely valid. So just search my channel, check out the beginner's guide, and there's some that I created for brand new Steam players when it came out. It's still exactly the same. The game has not changed at all in regards to that. So any information you need from a beginner's perspective, it's all there. And remember, all my content I do is free to play. So it's more of like matter of time for new players to catch up. Once you catch up, all the tactics, all the messages, all the videos I put out for you guys is all going to make more sense once you're at that point. Remember, we as veteran players have been playing for 6 months, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand, as new players, unless you're whaling, you're not going to be able to do some of the same things we're doing as free to play yourself. All right, anyways, guys, big deal about the C region. I'm very happy this game is extending its reach. I think that's a very good sign for the health of the game as well too, knowing that they're adding more regions to it, which means more servers, which means more cost on their end, but also, of course, C is a pretty big spender, so you're probably going to get some of your money back for that. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.